Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Klayton Albright, yours truly, and today I want to talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons. But not only will I talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons today, I will be talking to you about Diablo 2. But not only Diablo 2, I will also be talking to you about my favorite game of all time, World of Tanks. On here said screen, it is beautiful, magnificent, and everything. And as always, my favorite tank of all time, T29. It's 2 perks, working on the 3rd. Beautiful tank, beautiful tank. But anyway, back to yours truly. So, which one are we going to talk about today first? We're going to talk about Diablo 2, Dungeons and Dragons, or World of Tanks? Well, I think first, let's talk about World of Tanks. World of Tanks, has a lot of clan wars going on since the 8.9 patch. Not a lot has really happened other than lots of explanations for clan wars and how they're going to change it up and make it more unique, a whole new dynamic world and everything else. Personally, I don't have the time or the patience to deal with clan wars or the money, but money does help in these situations. It does. They're troubling times, right? But anyway, no, that's not even close to what I want to talk about. But I can tell you right now, wargaming, you're doing okay. But you need to improve. You need more people in every game. You need at least 20 people. You need better artillery. Check that. You need to go to tier 15, and you need to make sure that they aren't shooting rockets. Go as far humanly possible into the future without using rockets. I don't care if the tank could fire rockets. If you can just get rid of the rockets and satellite technology from the tanks, that would make a tank. Game right there, okay? Fuck realism, okay? This is a game clearly based off of people who just get home from work and they start playing the game. Basically, you're 16-year-olds that come down from high school, okay? Those are thus the audience you're trying to play with, or the 20-year-old who just gets off of work, okay? That's your audience. That's what I believe to be your audience. That's what I've heard online. That's what I hear from a lot of people, and quite frankly, if you guys want to have any future, look at War Thunder. Okay, look at what they're doing. It is huge. Have you seen the graphics for their tanks? It blows your guys out of the water. Like, they got realism down to a T. Man, freaking T. You guys, you've got the after school snack, okay? Okay, you want the 60-year-old people playing your game. then you better get some graphics going here in the next upcoming patches, or you're going to find yourself in a sinking boat, and I know exactly which boat I'm taking if something doesn't improve. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the best critic in the world, but I am a critic. And to be honest, I like the improvements that have happened in the last year, but there's room for more improvement, always and forever. Anyway, that's the World of Tanks segment. I think I'll pretty sure maybe next time I get on I might do some more about that. However, it's time to move on to Diablo 2. Diablo 2, all sorts of good things. This is the original handbook. As you can tell, the pages are kind of bent a little bit. In the Diablo update, they brought, or it's more like the expansion pack, they brought in the Assassin and the Druid. I'll be looking that up later tonight because I'm doing a Dungeons & Dragons little event. I won't be recording it. It would be really awesome if I could, but unfortunately I cannot bring the camera with me, so it's going to have to stay there. However, I will like to mention, I have a few questions for said audience. If you guys could give me tips or things that you actually might know about it, or just some random things. What do you do? Is there like an armor class booklet online that I could find for like armor rated classes, or like diamond plated, mithril, titanium, all those random ass things? Or is Dungeons and Dragons just basically mithril, iron, and stone, and various other things, and diamond, of course? Like, look at Minecraft. Like, they've got an armor system. Is like Dungeons and Dragons armor system anything close to that? Like, don't get me wrong, I've got the first season and the second season's worth of books. Basically, the Master's Guide, Monsters book, the God book, and the a couple monster manuals. But I guess what I'm trying to say is there any more of armor class that I should know about? Because I have the feeling that there's just not enough information there for me to get a really good feel of what it should be. Don't get me wrong, they have it set up, but I don't have a chart for iron armor. I don't have a chart for diamond armor. I don't have a chart for even the steel armor. Like, yeah, they say full plate, but what if it was iron full plate armor? What does that mean? Is it the same quality content as diamond full plate armor? Obviously not. But there is no chart that really declares that. So if you guys could help me out finding some particular type of chart online that would help me figure out where I can put these items. In the future, I'm planning on grabbing a paper like so and showing you what is classified iron to be, and diamond and steel, and you know, all the various things. Don't get me wrong, titanium probably wasn't even built in that same time frame, considering that my Dungeons & Dragons is meant to be played in the 1600s. Yeah, the 1600s, most likely in Germany and Britain kind of era, you know, the medieval times. That's basically where I'm placing my Dungeons & Dragons, with the exception of, obviously, magic, teleportation, blah blah blah, psychics, all that shit. But anyway, if you guys could help me find that, that would be really super. And, let's see here. There was also this in Dungeons & Dragons, a table to make items. Like, how long does it take to create a sword or a shield, plate armor? Is it for every individual piece? Does it also include components? And if so, you know, what about the steel? Like, does steel take longer than iron? Does it take longer than diamond, or does diamond take longer? You know, because it's a more powerful item, and since, you know, even with today's technology, it's still very hard to cut. From what I understand, the latest technology has allowed us to cut diamonds with lasers, which is really cool, but, you know, considering Dungeons and Dragons and everything doesn't exactly have laser technology, except for the fact of a fireball and maybe some type of laser, but it wouldn't be that type. It'd probably be like a death ray. But again, I'm looking for your guys' assistance. If you guys could tell me a little bit more about that certain thing, that would be really cool as well. Let's see. And again, is there more like a plan for like economics within the game itself, like store-bought things, taxes, various charts that I could use? If there's any online, or if you guys could procure some, that would be really cool as well. Converting table. What am I doing with the converting table? Oh yes, is there a table, by the way, also for conversion, like oh, I'm gonna transmute a mile's worth of dirt in 2 hours, or 2 days, or 5 days, or a year. You know, like the book, there was a spell called Dig, and essentially you could dig out like a mile of earth, and I believe you could do it within, what, like an hour or some crap. Like, I don't know if magical people are really that powerful and they can just do that, but I'm having a little difficulty understanding the concept. So if you guys could give me more info on that, I would really appreciate it. By the way, that also includes like if I had a like a mountain this tall, right, and it was like a mile high, and say my buddy wanted to demolish it completely flat and use all the materials that are in it, pretending that it was mined out magically within a matter of minutes. Like, how would that even be possible? Or is it not even possible, and he would have to roll to see if he can even get that done? If he rolled a 20, sure, yeah, instantly it happens. But, you know, anything lower than that, I would assume it'd take maybe a month, maybe a week worth of time, as it slowly builds up into different piles. And that's if you have enough room to divide all the piles. But again, I don't really know what would it be comprised of. Like, could you give me a list of medieval times knowledge of metals and stuff? I mean, that would be really cool as well. And I will also be doing a little bit of a little new series that I'm thinking about bringing out. It's called What to Do, Dungeons and Dragons sort of edition type thing. Um, Again, it's just an idea. I want to see what you guys think so far of what update that I've given out so far as this whole thing goes. Again, I know I've made a couple maps in the past, and I post them. It was on my mom's really old computer. I mean, technically it's new, but it's really old nowadays. And it's still got a really good processor. But again, it's old now. But I guess more of my last couple of things is... well, actually, I got it right here. Okay, everyone, so... what to do? The whole Dungeons and Dragons thing I was just talking about. Basically, what this is going to be is like when entering doors or rooms or various other things. So basically, before you, obviously in Dungeons and Dragons, before you enter a room or try to even use the damn door, you either should be using healing spells from, say, your last battle, or if you're just entering the place, then you should probably be using buffing spells, decoy spells, cloning spells, before you even decide to enter the room. If you can summon a monster that can open the door, great. I would do that if necessary. By the way, as a house rule, okay, this is actually cutting into another section, but that's okay. I have a house rule when summoning creatures on the summoning creature spell via the other 7 spells are exactly the same, just different levels of spell, being the summoning creature spell. You must summon a particular creature at least 10 times before you can summon that creature at any time. So basically, you know how in the back of the monster manual, or no, the Dungeon Master Guide, there is 5 little tables that describe the levels of creatures throughout the monster manual. And basically, you roll a 100-sided die. If you get one of those creatures, then it's summoned with however many that you roll for. And hence, let's see, 100, you get a weasel. Level 3, you get like 4 weasels. And so with that, you have to summon that particular roll 10 times in order to summon it at any given time. The only reason I say that is because then Magic users won't be able to be all like, oh, check this out, summon Weasel right now, summon Hydra right now, because it's all randomized roll. None of it's, you know, how should I put it? None of it's overpowered until you've summoned it that many times. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you've summoned it 10 times, again, as far as my house rule goes, then, you know, by all means, you know, whatever. You know, but the reason why I'm doing this is because, well, first season is not, of Dungeons and Dragons, it's not very, okay, it's descriptive, but it doesn't, think of it, it's just not very descriptive. This is my only word I can describe it by. It is very descriptive. Contradicting, I know. But in the sense that it doesn't show a visual of what should be happening, I've just decided to make a video about it. So if you guys could help me try to figure out what some of these are, what some of them aren't, and if it's like season 1, because I use everything from season 1 to season 3 of Dungeons and Dragons. I do not use 3.5 or 4.0. Those are the actual boards that have, you know, an actual square table that you move square to square, up, down, left, right, side to side, X, Y, Z, you know, format. You're moving upstairs, downstairs, and you actually have little figurines like 400k Warhammer. And unfortunately, the only reason I don't do that mode is because I don't have any of the books. So if you guys are willing to donate those particular books, I would be more than happy to make a couple videos about it. And again, it would take me some time to study them, figure out what they are, how they are, why they are. And again, I'm always constantly willing to hear what you guys have to say. And again, I'd be more than willing to do anything you guys ask within reason as far as that goes. And unfortunately, I don't think I'll actually be able to get to Diablo 2, so I'll just make this part 1 and move on to part 2. And it'll be right up here in the little box area. So go ahead and like, favorite, subscribe. This is Klayton Albright signing off.